But it comes into play like the three things we talked about, right? Starts with the big lie, sex for resource, right? Hey, if I can get this man's attention for just sex, that means he loves me. That means he's loyal to me. That means I have value, right? Forget the fact that he's not going to commit to me or put a ring to me, right? And then now, too, you have the social media where now you have access to all these men. And guys, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of His and Hers.
Yes.
My name is Twan. This is my beautiful wife.
Sim, nice meeting everyone again, and welcome back, guys.
Yep.
Woo!
Welcome to all our viewers, new and old, all our loyal viewers, right? Thanks you guys for, just continue supporting our channel, right? While you're here, of course, please smash that like button, turn on your notification bell, right? Share, comment, and please, guys, please subscribe. Right? Get that truth out there, right? Debunk the lies as well. Really appreciate you guys, just keep pushing, keep spreading the truth.
We're seeing a lot of love. Thank you, guys.
Yes. No, we really appreciate it. It only makes us want to work harder and provide more content for you guys. Go check out our channel over on TikTok at His&Hers YT. I always tell you guys, those are the shorter clips over there. So go check the short clips over there. We'll continue to keep posting more. Okay.
Yes.
Today, another reaction video, honey.
There he goes.
Yep, I really like these reaction videos. Been really loving doing them. This is the last part in a series that we've been watching and reacting to from Kevin Samuels, The Godfather, right? The title of this video is Why Do Modern Women Want It All? Part 7, the finale.
Yes.
All right.
Wrapping it up.
So I'm excited to wrap this up and react to his last video here.
Here we go.
Okay. I'm gonna put up with that. You got to do this, such and so forth. All right, bring the next one in. You're outnumbered. That 125,000 is a real number. So if you want to live in the lifestyle you talk about, your pool of men is shallow.
But that's why I know we disagree on the definition of middle class. That's why I said from middle class to high class, because I am aware of that.
Okay, real quick. I wanted to stop real quick because we kind of jumped into the conversation midstream once again. And Kevin is talking about the scarcity of HVMs, right? High value men, right? Yep. We're talking the top 10%, right? And when you break it down in terms of the top 10% of eligible men, that meets
the criteria.
Unfortunately, it meets the criteria of the average modern day woman, right?
Yes.
That 125 is what he was talking about. 125,000 men, right, is what meets these women on his panel. And unfortunately, guys, the majority of modern women's, right? And so there's just not enough of them to go around. So that's the context, honey, and obviously for you guys out there, okay?
You are in that top 10%, it's a lot harder to get them to be faithful and loyal to you because they are so wanted by so many women. And also, when men have that status, it takes a lot longer for them to choose to be loyal to you versus everybody else, simply because they don't know what your intentions are for them. They don't know, is she with me for me genuinely or with me because of the benefits I provide? Whereas more of a middle lower class man, they know that you love them for them because they don't have those things that they think that you want back, and where you can only, like, some women will settle for that.
But would you?
Okay, real quick, they're talking about a lot of talking points. So, I want to make sure we can just kind of react to one, talking point, right? So she said a lot there, and one of the things she said was obviously that loyalty from the high value man, guys. And I just want to repeat that once again, right? A high value man, but men in general, we show loyalty different than women, right?
Yep.
So, her idea, and because we've watched the remaining of these videos already, right? The modern woman's idea of loyalty for men is fidelity, right? So they think that if a man has, sexual relationships with another woman, it's the sex that's the man is cheating on, right? And I've stated this many times. It's if the man has to exchange his values for said sex, then it's the loss of his values. That's what he's being disloyal about, right? So if he has to give up his finance or his fame And then, of course, yes, if he brings home a disease and so therefore sacrificing his fitness, bringing home a liability on the fitness value, then he's being disloyal, cheating, right, to his woman, right, to his significant other, right?
Well, but think about this, ladies. When that man is high par up to tier here, okay? So take Jeff Bezos, okay? He's got billions of dollars, right? You knew, say you're his wife, okay? You knew he's already up there, chalant, whatever status, right? But even if he gave partial of his finance to these girls that he's sleeping around with, you already knew what you're getting yourself into. You wanted his finance. You wanted his clout. You want to be pampered. At the end of the day, you're going to be that wife for him. But then, you expect it all. You want that man that's the 1% tier that's way up there to be only committed to you. Yes, a lot of people in that perfect world would want that, but it's not going to happen. Most women that marry those men that are up there to multi-millions or nonchalant, billionaires, most of them aren't majorly faithful. I'm sorry to say. They've got people just, offering them things, and sometimes, that's why we say that men think below while women think with heart and mind. Okay? So it's different. He might be sleeping with other people because just for companionship, but it doesn't mean that he's going to take you as his wife most of the time. Most of those women that are in the shadows are either, they're not just sleeping partners. Sometimes they don't sleep together. They're just someone to talk to, someone to treat him better. Because, when he has to come back to a wife, she spends most of his money. She doesn't give him his time. She doesn't ask how his day was. All she wants is the wallet. Type deal. Most of the time.
Like I said, you guys have to understand, this is a very unique, once again, like women, the modern women especially, right?
So you'd be all right dating him. You'd be all right.
You guys focus so much on this high value man, right? This is such a unique situation in general, right? We're talking about the top 10% of men already in general. So this situation doesn't happen normally.
Nope.
But the key is these couples, usually in these tiers, if they do it right, and when you mention Jeff Bezos, you got to, like I said, we can't get off on tangents. We got to talk about each individual situation. Yes. Like his wife, Mackenzie, and him, obviously they had an understanding, guys. They mutually divorced. He gave her the money and the resources that she wanted, right? As part of the deal, she had kids with him, right? Kids are taken care of.
Everything's taken
care
of.
And now she can go and obviously she went and got a lesser value man, but she got her finance and, resources and her kids taken care of from him. And now he's able to go get another woman. Yeah. We can obviously argue whether he got a better woman or not. That's not the point. But the point is, in these situations, it's an understanding. There's no cheating.
Yeah.
There's no cheating. They've talked to each other and say, hey, cool, you want this? Okay, I want this. All right, cool. Let's make it work. What's the deal? Okay?
I'm trying to tell you, most of those women that are at that top tier, they already know what they're getting themselves into. That's just like you dating a major movie star, basketball player, or whatever else, or the rapper. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, the point is you should.
Ways.
The point is you should. If you don't, then you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Then you're living in a bubble world.
Right. I want to finish her just because there's other talking points.
Marrying a man who made the average black man in this country makes $41,500. Okay, so that's why we even talking about all that. Women will talk about men like that, and that ain't the kind of man you would deal with. So it doesn't matter. All that.
I feel like 70,000 is ridiculous.
And see, this is the other thing I want to point, because the other talking point she said is like, well, an average man's going to be more loyal. But then, like Kevin said, you don't want that man.
Yep.
And the average modern woman doesn't want that man. And this is the thing. It's like you want something, right? You want this high value man.
Yeah.
And if you want to just think about anything in general, right, guys? You want this thing. You want this product. You want this thing that's worth this amount of money. Whatever, right? But then you don't want to work hard for it.
Nope.
So in essence, by what she said earlier, that woman said earlier, well, like, I'll be more comfortable with an average man. It pretty much is saying that you don't want to work for your high value man. So why would he, as a high value man, want you?
Nope, he wouldn't want you.
If you ain't gonna work for him, why is he gonna work for you?
Even some high value man still want a certain thing, whether you upkeep yourself, whether you do this, or every man. Well, I'm just trying to say, there's work that you have to do to make him fully accept you as his wife.
Yeah.
Just say that. Okay, there's some kind of work.
They
you know?
worked
Yeah.
to a certain level
yes.
to achieve this. Hard work. They knew what so their standards are going to be super high.
Yep.
To a certain extent. Obviously, like I said, we've made fun of other people like Jeff Bezos and stuff like that. But my point is, they're going to be above average in terms of their standards, right? So they're going to want people that understands that and are willing to put their effort in to match that standard. Otherwise, there's going to be no deal.
Yeah. Well, think of the new day and age women right now. You guys are all about, hey, go get your bag, girl. You don't really care. And then, some of the men don't mind, but it's like the average guy truly love you. You don't want them. Like, he loves you. He sacrificed. He worked, he can, put food on the table. He can give you shelter. Yeah, he might not afford that $1 million thing right now, but if he up himself, he probably can. But you don't want that. But then you're trying to grab what everybody's trying to grab. The way 10%, then the 1%. Really?
But then you don't want what
but
comes
you don't
with it.
Want to yeah.
It's like you own a Ferrari. You're expecting to pay high dollars to maintain it, to fix it. But you don't want that.
No.
So you want a Toyota Corolla?
Yeah.
But then you don't want a Toyota Corolla.
No.
So yeah.
It doesn't.
I don't. Okay, it doesn't matter. But 15% of men earn that amount of money. 15.
Okay.
So still, whether you're in the top 10 or 15%, a man knows if he is a higher earner. And see, that's the thing. Because I don't know what you do for a living. But most men at your age don't earn that kind of money. But that's not the point. My point is, men have a more accurate representation of our actual sexual marketplace value. Women have an inflated estimation because of the amount of men you can deal with. I only judge based on the men who are trying to marry you. That's what.
Correct, and that's kind of where I think we share the same mindset.
Yes.
With Kevin.
Kevin.
There's this metric. You got to meet a metric.
Yep.
If the man's not willing to commit to you, in our channel we say marriage and kids. If you don't meet that standard, then you haven't won anything. No. Just because a man wants to have sex with you, that doesn't mean, right? Doesn't mean that he wants you. He's committed to you, right?
Lust, ladies, is not love, okay? Because we already said many times, lust is not love, okay? And if he really wants to marry you, trust me, a man who really, really loves you, he will do anything to put that ring over,
Yeah, he's going to show all his commitment. He's going to work hard for
Yeah.
you. He's going to wake up every day, do things. He's going to do the providing. He's going to do the protection. He's going to put, take that bullet for you.
Yeah.
He's going to do everything for the kids to make sure that they have the best outcome. And you'll see it. The proof is in the pudding, right?
He'll
like
work.
You'll see his actions day in and day out.
He'll
right?
work extra job. He'll work extra hours.
Correct.
He'll work overtime, slave away. He'll take your crap most of the thing, because that is true love.
Yeah.
But he will not take it if you don't care for him.
But that's
and you
my
just
point.
shove it
He's
off.
going to expect something in return.
Okay,
right?
nice clean house. Did you upkeep yourself? Did you
beautiful wife?
Did you stay
work
beautiful?
out,
Did you stay healthy? Did
stay
you
feminine?
take care of our kids? Are you educating them? Are you taking them to the practice? Are you making them better? All that stuff. And if you can't even give a few things, trust me, it isn't going to work out. I don't care how much a man loves you. He will put up with just a little bit more, but at the end of the day, he will divorce you because he's going to be like, you know what? I sacrifice. I'm working to the bone, and what am I getting back in return? Nothing.
To come full circle, the lust is not enough.
No.
The sex alone is not enough.
You know where you really rank. What kind of men are trying to wife you? Coming with ring and intention. So all this other stuff is just philosophical. So when you're talking about these men up here are less likely to be loyal, the kind of men you're talking about are in that area too. But as far as we talked about loyal, cheating. When asked, 28% of black men in married or committed relationships have admitted to cheating. What percentage of black women have admitted to cheating in the same scenario? What do you think?
I would assume less, maybe 20%, 15%.
I
would assume less.
What do you think? What number, approximately?
10% admit to cheating.
I would say 40% or more.
She's like the other group. 24%. So 28% of black men have admitted to cheating versus 24% of women. That's not a huge difference. So why?
Yeah, so we stated that stat on one of our last videos, right? So there's not that much difference, right? And see, even then, even as little as that difference means in terms of physical cheating, once again, if you actually take into account the actual cheating of which gender does what, like I said before, men don't cheat with fidelity because that's not a value that we bring to the table, right? Our fidelity isn't worth as much as your guys' fidelity. If anything, it ain't worth anything at all. Hence, it's not even a value on 3 of our values, right? Our values are fitness, finance, and fame, right? So the fact that they even equated the 28% of physical cheating to 24% of physical cheating for the woman, if you actually take into account the correct definition of cheating, I guarantee you that is even lower than the woman's. So that means women cheat their fidelity 24% of the time. And if you really calculate a men's, cheating of their finance and their fame and everything else, I guarantee it's probably equal or less than the women's, if I had to guess.
Well, that's why you have to hashtag vagina discipline, ladies out there. Hashtag that, please.
But that's also why we have to understand this lie. That's the reason why, this channel is so much about debunking lies, right, guys? Men and women are not the same. Nope. We do not cheat the same. We do not show loyalty the same. Our values are not the same. Okay? We got to understand that. Break through that false ideology.
Well, most women think that just because the man woe you with a little dinner here or whatever else, and then you sleep with him thinking that, oh my God, he might put a ring on my finger. No, it isn't. Men think differently. Just because he woe you or buy you things and now he wants to sleep with you, he's thinking down there and not up here that he wants to be with you. Is not. That's just the lust part, women. And I know as women, we put it to heart thinking, oh my God, he's in love with me and whatever else. If a man is truly in love with you, trust me, he'll wait. He'll want to put a ring on your finger and then want to sleep with you. He'll go through proper procedures. He wouldn't just go, hey, let's go to bed together. No, it shouldn't be that way, women. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It should be a proper way. Take things slow. Get to know each other, okay? And then maybe sleep with each other. If you think that's the right person.
We're talking about
that
cheating, honey. We're talking about cheating. I'm just saying let's not get onto another tangent. I'm saying we're talking about cheating, and we're not the same, okay?
No.
And ladies, how many times, just to clear this point before we move on, because I don't want to make this video too long. But ladies, think about how many times, if your man had cheated on you, or even if you hear celebrities cheating, right? They cheat on that woman of theirs or on you with a lesser woman, right? Because guys, if we can just get the sex without having to spend any of our values, we're going to freaking jump on it. So that means he's not cheating because his fidelity doesn't worth anything. It's only if he has to spend a lot of his values.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I still don't understand you, dude. Arnold.
Dude.
Contact us. Why? Why would you be sleeping with your nanny?
No, I know why, guys. It's because of just opportunity. It's right there. It don't cost me nothing. Now, obviously, granted, it costed him his marriage. I get that. That's and stupid of him for that, right? But my point is, in terms of just that basic bare necessity of cheating, it's like you're not spending money on this freaking person. You're not spending your fame on it, and she's there. So, once again, we're different.
I still don't understand.
Why do women complain so much about loyalty when y'all are cheating? Cheating. But who files for divorce? And when relationships end, who's walking away with the kids and the money? Would you want to, in today's dating environment, would you want to be a man or a woman when it comes to the breakup?
Oh, God, that's an easy question.
Because we reap the more benefits.
But is that the way you look at it? So you're really privileged. Women are very privileged today. But the way most time it gets talked about is that it's so hazardous. So I think it's been a good conversation, hopefully eye-opening. Do you have any questions?
So before they go to another talking point, I mean, the Matrix, social constructs, right, all these things we have been trying to control the truth, right? And the problem is sometimes theory, right, ideology masses the truth, unfortunately, to an extent where it no longer supports the truth, right? I get some of our laws on why we do certain things a certain way, right? It's like you don't want to leave the child unsupported, right? If the man, for whatever reason, right? That's the key is for whatever they don't care. The government, the matrix don't care, even if he's a good dad.
Yeah.
But the point is, the relationship doesn't work. Husband and wife separate, right? They want the kid taken care of, right? I get that basic premise of wanting to do the right thing, right? But as you guys can see, unfortunately, we always say it all the time, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? So you got to think about the outcomes, right? So now what you've done is you've passed all these laws, all these social constructs. You've mastered the truth. And unfortunately, it enables women to leave the men, right? Because they're benefited. Hey, if I leave them, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get alimony. I'm going to get the child too, right? Like 90% of the time, women get the, custody, right? And so I'm going to get taken care of. So you're enabling instead of really helping the situation. Yeah. Right?
I actually may go live in a minute. What about you? I think your situation is okay. I think your situation is fascinating because you say you want to be. You don't. I don't sense that you want to be by yourself. I just think it's you don't want any rules.
I told you I want to be in a relationship, but say like I'm very picky because I understand that. And one, like how you mentioned, does race matter? There's a lot of things that matter with me. Obviously, I'm weird. I like cats and I like anime. I'm very picky about men, anyways. So knowing the statistics and everything, I know more likely than anything, I'll most likely end up alone. So because of that, I would rather be able to support myself.
Okay.
Do I want to find my dream guy? Absolutely.
But do you know what it? Now this is where it gets hard. You're 20.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Kevin, obviously get back to it but before he answers, that's just a crazy statement, right? It's like I have this high standard. I know the man that I want,
but I don't.
But instead of like working hard, making myself the person, the woman that will be able to attract this man and get with this man that I want, right? And go get what you need. Like if you're such a strong go-getter, boss babe, independent woman, right? Instead, you're like, nope, I don't want it.
Nope, she's conflicting.
I'd rather be scared and just take the better route and just be able to be by myself and take care of myself.
Oh, well, she's going to be a cat woman, dog woman. Don't worry. Dialogue.
Ladies, how do you guys call yourself fierce with that mindset? That's living in fear.
No, it didn't make sense. Like, I'm in love with that guy. I can up myself and grab that opportunity. But no, I'm just going to walk away just in case if I get hurt. That's what you guys are doing. You're just being a coward. But at the same time, you have that mentality is, hey, go get your bag, girl. But then at the same time, you're being a coward. Yeah. And that's, I don't know what else to say. Like, okay, well, then guess what? You're going to live alone. Catwoman, dogwoman, fish, whatever you want to call it.
Crazy.
There you go. Yeah.
6. There are women who would tell you that they wish they were your age so they could make different choices. My whole tagline, buy a dog and die alone. Women are dying alone these days. And especially in Japan and Korea, Kotokoshi, people are being found dead. Well, so would it be, is it that you can't find somebody that you like, or do you think you'd be just too difficult to get along with?
I think it's a mixture of both.
But what can you control?
I can control how I react.
Right. I mean, are human beings different today? I mean, are we more nuanced, or are we pretty much the same animal we've always been?
It's more finding someone that can tolerate me and get along with me.
Do you have a lot of patience?
Like I said, no.
There you go.
Like
Ding, 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 ding. Impatient. And the thing is, that's the problem. If you're supposed to be the empathetic ones, the nurturing ones, the patient ones, how the hell are you supposed to get anywhere if you're not patient? But
typically, I'm not patient. I've learned patience from a situation, but now.
But here's the uncomfortable reality. There are more women on the planet than men. And every day on my show, I talk to women who are 8s, 9s, and 10s, pretty beautiful and gorgeous, who are chronically single and miserable. Because you still have options. You guys have options at this age. The options at 30 drop by about half. At 40, they drop by roughly around 20%.
Yeah. It's actually very funny. The men's, if you want to call it SMV, sexual market value, and the women's SMV, sexual it's almost kind of like a cross, right? So women, like we've kind of talked about this on another video, but like women at a young age, obviously is at their high value, right? So like let's say we start at both 18. Right, an 18-year-old man is pretty much useless. Let's be honest. Most 18-year-old man is useless, right? You're immature. You don't have anything going on for you. You don't have any status. You don't have any clout. I mean, there's outliers, but we're talking very rare, right? But an 18-year-old woman, right, that has her fidelity intact. Of course, if she hasn't, done crazy thottery or whatever, right? That's her starting peak, right? And then obviously she's going to get peaker, she's going to get better, right? And obviously 22, 25, I would say is probably where her peak is, right? 22, 25 is just kind of like the men's first path, right? It's like your first step to becoming a better man, right? And then of course, as you start reaching 30, the woman's value kind of peaks, right? Peaks, but obviously levels off, and then maybe even slightly going down. But the man's one is still on the rise, right? And then, unfortunately, that hit at 35 is kind of when you see that the man has overtaken the woman. And unfortunately, at 35, the woman is declining. And it's going to be a rapid decline, right? Especially from just a biological standpoint, right? Because your eggs are 80% gone already.
That's what I was going to say.
Correct. And then when you turn 40... and you only have 3% of your eggs left. And let's be honest, just physically, guys, facial-wise, it doesn't matter. Your body-wise, it's not going to be the same at 40 as when you were 25.
Yeah, don't say like, oh, my God, I saw so-and-so worked out and on YouTube, and she looks great for being 40 or 50 years old. You might look okay, but you know what? Physically, you are not probably going to have kids anymore.
But the key is, look at pictures of her when she was 25. She's still way hotter. I mean, like you can talk about all the different celebrities, right? Halle Berry, Kim Kardashian, J-Lo. Like you can say that they're still beautiful women today, right?
They are beautiful.
But if you look at their photos when they were young, there's no man is going to say, "Oh, I want her at 50 when I could have had her at 25." Okay,
nope.
It's not going to be.
After 50, it's pretty much game over. I had a 45-year-old virgin on my show the other day. So ultimately, I get what you're saying, but whatever goes around, you got to be able to get along with somebody.
The problem is the social setting that you're surrounded with too, and how you're going to find the type of person you want is depending on your social setting. I'm not going to find the type of person I want in the state of Florida.
Well, and that brings us to my next question. Are women lazy when it comes to mate selection?
Good question.
What do you think?
I would say yes.
No?
I'm not lazy when it comes to mate selection.
I got unlazy recently.
All right. So if
But I guess generally,
Like in general, yeah.
well, I mean,
I was gonna wait for the right guy to come find her, so that
so when was the last time
you're ready
you?
to have a mate and you're setting your intentions, you should be out there.
So when was the last time you stepped to the kind of man you were interested in?
When's the last time what?
When was the last time you stepped to the kind of man you were interested in and dropped your proverbial handkerchief?
Slid in his DM. I did. I definitely do that. I do that all the time. I always take the lead. I always take the initiative and lead. If I want it, I'm gonna go get it. That's just me.
And that's one thing about online or in person?
This was the same woman, right, that said that she doesn't want a high value man because obviously she's fearful of the potential cheating and stuff, right? And obviously she'd rather just worry about herself and be, obviously, but she's the same woman that slid into Future's DMs, It's like,
okay, now you're just sort of counting.
And she equated that, guys, to the proverbial handkerchief. That's why we talked about in another video why social media has been such a huge contributing factor to this problem, right?
Because you can try to meet someone, just he's gonna have a concert here. Oh, he's gonna be over there. Okay, well that's where I'm gonna be. I mean, that's sort of what women's got to do if you're trying to get. I understand trying to get these high value man's attention. Okay, it's attention because most of the time they are not even getting a hookup. There's just somewhat attention.
But it comes into play like the three things we talked about, right? Starts with the big lie, sex for resource, right? Hey, if I can get this man's attention for just sex, that means he loves me. That means he's loyal to me. That means I have value, right? Forget the fact that he's not going to commit to me or put a ring to me. Right. And then now, too, you have the social media where now you have access to all these men. And guys, as I just said earlier, men will sleep with as low as a freaking woman. Look, we talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger already. Right. We'll sleep with anything if you give us, for the most part, right, a chance. Right. So now you have access to all these men that for sure is going to sleep with you. Right. Especially if you're a 26-year-old good looking woman. Right. And then, of course, right, you don't know your values, right? You don't know your values. And so you think, once again, that because I can just bring my sex, my fidelity to the table, I'm going to be able to secure this man, right? And then look at the choices you're making.
Bad choices.
Right?
Bad choices.
And Kevin talked about this in the other video, too, where it's like, where are the men in your lives that are vetting this situation for you?
Not.
Right? And so this is where it all comes in. The feminist lies, right? Where, hey, you're a boss babe. You can make decisions by yourself. You're an independent girl, right? So now you can vet the man by yourself, right? And then the big lie, sex for resource. Then social media. Now you have access to all these men. Now you guys can see why we're in such a situation of crappiness.
No, it's
for
crisis.
lack of better words.
It's called crisis right now, honey. That you're women. Yeah, you might have your bag, you might have your dinero, you might have that chin, whatever else, girls. But trust me, you're going to be, like Kevin said, see, we both think similar. You're going to be dying alone most of the time. And, that's a sad world. You don't try to settle for certain things, but at the same time, you're also being a coward to, try to improve yourself and show.
The point is, then you have a couple episodes like that where you hit up these high value, quote unquote, high value guys with no purpose, right? And that's the problem, right? You're running into these guys that are just going to freaking have sex with you, no commitment, and then it leaves you with a bad experience, and so now you're fearful. It's like it's such the perfect storm for this vicious cycle to keep happening, right?
Given my situation, I was on ankle monitor for a long time. I just got out of prison, so it was online, but then in person. But yeah, and then I even flew out to LA, slid in someone's DMs, and so I definitely take initiative.
The thing is, online is not real. You got to do it in person. And this is where Becky and them, the white girls with their hair flipping and flirting and so forth, because being feminine in assertive and aggressive in a feminine way is going to be important, because, like you said, the kind of men you would be interested in are looking to see who's genuine. And women who actually show interest. Men like women who like them. So I think it's interesting that when you ask most women about going to be a go-getter, get what they want as far as job, I'm going to get my education, I'm going to get my career, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
That's a very important tip. Don't just gloss over that.
No.
That tip that Kevin just said there.
That's
men,
important.
especially high value men, likes women who put interest into them. Right? Men, we'll be honest with you, will probably take a lesser beautiful woman. This is why you see sometimes guys ladies you have this high value man and like the woman that he's with isn't that beautiful. Right.
Yeah. But if you ask her, she'll know what type of job he does, how he started
what
his
he
job,
likes,
what he likes, what food he likes. She pays attention to him. That's the key word. She paid attention. It's like when you got like you're applying for a job, right? In a way, you got to look at him and like, okay, this is applying for a job application to this company. You got to know their background. You can't just be like, hi, your name is Todd, and you don't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. Like how he started. You don't know, where he graduated. Those kind of things. These women know a lot about these men, most of them. She find interest in him. She's sparked by what he does.
Correct.
She's always woed, you know.
Well, the key too is knowing enough about these men
Yes.
to go first off to be in their surrounding circles, right? And then of course act, look a certain way
Yep.
to play that part. You know, and a lot of it, like I said, is the femininity, right? It's not just the beauty; it's all your traits, right?
A lot of traits.
And all he'll find me.
I was like that. I was gonna find me a man.
Well, Miami ain't the place to find
And that's
nothing.
why I said I gotta get up out of here. And it's a lot of online and long distance stuff, and it's just not like a lot of interactions are better in person. And I've tried so much to take initiative to people that are outside of here, and just the long distance, it makes a difference.
You're from here, right?
When do you actually have time to socialize in the right crowd to find the person you want? Because you're either working or whatever, and maybe the person you want is not in your work field, so it's not as definitely. You don't find time to go.
Well, that's the problem.
You do go social with your girlfriends.
And that's right there. See, you have to. First thing I tell women to do is get rid of your single girlfriends, because single women keep women single. You have to find time to get out there and make yourself available to the kind of man you want, or else they'll find somebody else. They're gonna find somebody else.
That's what I most about high value men. They're not looking, like they don't actively seek. Like whenever I find a high value man, 9 times out of 10, I was in the right environment and I approached them. High value men, they don't approach women. Like I feel like the men that are constantly approaching different women every day, they are the low lives of the men.
When you say high value men, what do you mean?
Like someone who.
Real quick, they're gonna go on another talking point, but they said something earlier where, like, you know, like they don't. The modern woman, they won't go and scout where these men are. And just real quick, guys, this is another social media problem, right? Because the women now have all the men in the palm of their hand. So this is another social media cause, right? So I just wanted to state that real quick.
It's the typical ideal man that a woman will want, and they know that. They know they're handsome. They know they're financially stable. They know that they are able to be committed and loyal and to care for a woman that they think.
How do you know that when you first see a man?
You can tell by the way they carry themselves. You can tell by what they wear.
You know their character?
You can get an idea of someone from the energy that they give off.
I don't think.
I can. Very big on
I
energies.
tell you, I made that mistake.
I mean,
those guys.
now this is where, as an image consultant, person who reads people for a living, you're making an educated guess. But a high value man, but they tend to be wrong because it runs through your confirmation bias.
I'm going to say something that's really controversial too right now. But the problem with the modern women, you know, is that you're not dressing for the part or looking the part, right? These women want a future. They want these celebrities, these young celebrities, right? They want these young guys that are the top infinite minute percent, right? Rap stars, athletes. That's what these women on Kevin Samuels' panel wants. And so they're dressing the part to attract those men, right? But if you're talking about like someone like a Kevin Samuels where it's wearing a suit or, you know, like obviously he's in, you know, corporate or a business owner, a lawyer,
CEO,
a doctor,
whatever,
you're not dressing for these men. You know, because I saw obviously the thumbnails of these women, right? So you're dressing for these very like athletes and superstars. So you're not already playing your part, doing what you need to do, putting the work in the correct way. And so that's the reason why she's having this outcome. She said, high value men don't approach me. It's because you don't have the look that they want.
Well, we always say you have to look your part, a certain part, okay? So think about it. If you're going to go and meet, okay, say, I don't know, a royal family, okay? They have a convention. You're going to dress with that really tight outfit, showing half of your booty cheeks, whatever else? No, you have to study how the way their mannerism is, how they carry, how they salute, how they, you know.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick.
I'm just trying to say.
No,
honey.
I want to say something real quick because it makes sense. Like, Cardi B can get away with it.
You know,
because she's Cardi B. Right? Like if the queen's going to meet Cardi B, she knows she's Cardi B. Cardi B has achieved that level of status that she can meet the queen dressed that way because she's a celebrity. It's Cardi B, right?
It doesn't matter.
But you can't you as a normal woman, but my problem is I want to bring that out because these women get these images from these celebrities, say, oh, well, I'm like freaking Kim Kardashian, I can show up wearing this and like, you know, and pull the part out. You're not a celebrity, right? And think about it. What is the outcome regardless? Kim Kardashian married Kanye. Freaking Cardi B married freaking another rap star, right? Like, you're not going to attract a royal prince.
No, what I'm trying to say is you have to dress a certain part. Okay, there's always, you know, different roles for different parts, right? If you're going to go for a VP of, I don't know, Samsung company, whatever else, or Honda, or a freaking Ferrari company, he's not going to like taking you out, even as a girlfriend, wearing hoochie-like clothes. He can't take you there and be looked at like, oh my God, what is she from? You know, the streets or something.
I hate to say it that way. That's why there's different genres. There's different industries. There's different, you know, obviously different like people that you're trying to attract in different avenues of life. And if you're going to play that part to attract that type of person,
then you better study.
Then you better go to all the basketball games. You better go to all the freaking rap, you know, freaking concerts, right? You better go to all the entertainment industry stuff. But how are you expected to go attract like someone in corporate, or you know, like my wife said, like someone in royal family with that type of
not that kind of traits or attitude, whatever else? No.
A high value man, the way I define it, is a man who's earning a certain amount of money, 6 figures or more, because so $10,000 a month or more, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, because you can't be high value and homeless. I mean, it sounds nice, but that ain't real. He had to have made that money for about 3 to 5 years, so there's some consistency. Other high value men see him as a peer or a potential peer. He has a network of high value men and other people. He has a life that's kind of LinkedIn or level visibility. He's not just an entrepreneur. He actually has something you can point to. It's not, you know, I'm VP of Mergers and Acquisition at Goldman Sachs. And then he's useful to others and the group. And men like that, because I've been talking about this.
I want to add, like I said, that's very been Kevin's strict standard of what a HVM is supposed to be. Yeah. I would just add to it fitness. Right, just to make sure that we benefit and correct, you know, and obviously advise men correctly. Don't just focus on your finance and your fame, guys. Remember that fitness is part of that value too, because
you understand it's your health. Okay, without your health,
I know we keep talking about health, honey, but I'm sorry to cut you off, but no, it's not just about your health. It's about physically being able to look good, physically being able to know that you can take care of yourself, protect, and obviously, you know, handle your business, right? And there's this attraction level. It's not just about your health. You need to be sexually attracted to your wife, you know?
Don't forget hygiene. Come on, brush, if it stinks, but that all comes into play. That's all the above, okay?
I get it. You know, handsomeness, the men's physical attraction is not as important as the women's physical attraction, but it adds to the overall picture, guys. And it is very important.
Hygiene is important.
If you lack that, you're going to be falling yourself short as an HVM in my mind, okay?
Men think for the better part of 2 years. Men like that actively seek women. So when you say those kind of men don't, I think you may be conflating it with a high earning man. But high value men are looking for their counterpart, because these men know that there is a ceiling in corporate America. There's a marriage cap on a lot of these things, and they're actively looking, because they don't want to be out here doing this and doing that, doing this, because they got other shit to do. They're trying to get on down the path.
Can I clarify what I meant?
Well, let me say a couple of things. And I have a group with 1,000 people in it that I've handpicked. In that group, there have been 9 couples that gotten together and 4 marriages in less than a year. And I'm not a matchmaker. So these things happen. I think.
So what Kevin said earlier is about your status and your fame. The reason why these men, because I want to give you guys some context, right? And some really real world examples, because that's what I want to do here. So when he talked about obviously this network of men, right? And obviously these men are wanting to find a woman to marriage because they have the ceiling cap on corporate, is because it shows responsibility, guys. It shows your work. It shows that you have actually the wisdom, the experience, and the responsibility to have a family.
Yep.
That's the reason why, like, when the majority of men who are CEOs or whatever, they are married.
Yep.
Right? Because, and they have kids. I'll give you guys a prime example. I ran my business for the longest time, obviously just as, boyfriend and girlfriend, that type of stuff. No marriage, no kids. It was a few years, right, before we got married, right? Once people found out that I was married and then actually had kids too, my business got better. It took off because it shows people that you have this mindset that you're going to be responsible. You're going to work hard. You're going to do whatever it takes to do things right, so that way it doesn't jeopardize your family and your business, right? And so that's what he's talking about. So I just want to give you guys kind of a very key reason why, right? So you're asking, well, why would corporate America want, to ensure that CEOs are married?
That's the alpha nonchalant look.
Correct.
Okay, let me tell you the alpha nonchalant look.
It's
because
trust.
when you have that trust, they're like, oh, you've made all this money, you can handle our business because you have your family, you're knit together. I'm sorry to say, even if you think that they don't have that knit perfect image and you hear stories, it doesn't really matter. The wife will still support her man because she knows that he had to build certain things up the ladder.
I hate to say it, but let's continue. But I hate to say it, but it's like they know you're not going to go on a weekend binge of like freaking hookers and blow, right?
Yeah.
And then freaking jeopardize their whole company, right? That's to be extreme about it,
You know
right?
what I mean? You don't see them walk around there, and they're at the, at certain clubs. They're at the cigar lounge. They're at the bar at Ruth Chris. They're not socializing and doing a lot of stuff that most folks would do. So what are you going to clarify?
What I meant was that they're not thirsty. Like when I say lower value men, I mean they're actively seeking a lot of women, like a lot, like every girl. Like they're not picky. It's she's kind of cute, that's enough for me. So when I say that, I mean they're particular. They're not actively always looking for someone.
Well, I was saying in Miami is a different world too, because here a lot of guys are just, I've seen more fake watches and more rental cars this week. Well, the thing is, I'm going to be here often because I live in Atlanta, and I do this around the country, LA, Beverly Hills. And one thing is consistent. If you watch my content, I talked to men for years. What made me popular is I started talking to women about the very things the men who are my clients say they want from women. Because these men are actively looking for their feminine, beautiful, inspirational woman. I think that's been the biggest twist. Now the disconnect is, how do you get around the kind of man you want, and how do you effectively shoot your shot without looking thirsty, without looking try hard or whatever. And one of the things I hope this do is,
Yeah, so shout out to Kevin Samuels. I mean, I give him full credit for that.
Yeah.
He really kind of brought the light to this HVM tag, even though he wasn't, the person. And he freely admits it. He's not the person that invented it, but he definitely brought it out to the forefront. And what it did too was, and this is the reason why I want to bring it up, what it did too was expose the modern woman's hypergamy, right? Which is the RP community, right? It shows that all the modern day women, the majority of them, want this HVM, and by him bringing it out to the light, and so once he figured like, well, what do these men want, and what do these women that want these men, what do they want, and what are they trying, and what are they bringing to the table, right? So shout out to Kevin for kind of like, that's the reason why he's full credit to him. That's why he kind of blew up, because he kind of exposed this light, right?
The lies.
Change the temperament and how we approach one another, so it's not so suspect to where we're like, dating. I mean, this shit should be happy. It shouldn't be a burden. Like, God damn, I'm single. I gotta. All right, well, that was dope, ladies. I appreciate you guys coming out. More to come. Your Godfather is signing off. I'll come up with a catchy outro, catchy tune at the end, but thank you, ladies. We appreciate it. We had other people leave. So we're gonna enjoy this. Godfather.
So that's the end of the video.
Thanks,
My takeaway is
Kevin.
closing thoughts, honey. My takeaway is that, once again, Women, the modern women,
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand the differences of the values between men and
Men
women.
and women, yep.
And the feminist lies, the big lie, of
Yeah.
course, and of course social media,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, has created this perfect formula
Yeah.
for, unfortunately, this modern dating game, guys, that we all have to. Not least luckily for me, my wife and I, we're not in it, but
Nope.
obviously we want to help you guys try to navigate it by learning
Mhm.
these truths, so that way hopefully you guys can have the similar outcome as us, which
Yes.
is finding
someone
your significant other
and have that
create the truth.
that true love
Right.
sort of feel, and if it isn't, I mean, if that person, one other person, is willing to sacrifice and you guys work hard together, relationship isn't easy, guys. Like they said, it's hard work. It is hard work, whether you're in a relationship just dating from boyfriend and girlfriend, and then fiance, and then marriage. It's all hard work. And then of course when you have kids on top of that, that's even more hard work.
Correct.
That you're going to have your up and downs, but if you can't work it out together, and you don't have that patience to try to work it out together, trust me, it's not going to last. And that's the sad part, because when it doesn't last because one of you guys would not want to change, or or try to improve yourself,
Yeah.
or whatever else.
Well, it starts with
Yeah,
each
it
individual's
starts-
values.
yeah. You guys have to up your game. You got to do certain things. One has to sacrifice more, especially if you're a man. You got to work harder to try to feed your family, to take care of your wife and kids if you guys later on have kids,
Yeah.
So
Both sides going to have to work hard.
it has to balance out, right?
And it's the matter of work,
Yeah,
right?
balance.
It's just kind of like which level. If you want a high value a man, you better be a hardworking, high value woman, right? Like you better match that same.
Mm-hmm.
The modern woman says this all the time. You gotta match my energy, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand. Like it's not. They don't even understand the energy term, right? It's like the values. If you want this high value, you better be matching it with this high value.
You can't try to mask certain
Yeah.
things, especially a high value
Well,
man. You don't think he's going to check on you on certain things?
The problem is the modern woman equates that energy as making money.
No.
And that's not your value, ladies, right?
No.
So, guys, thank you so much.
Yep.
But, hey, I want to say something
back.
real quick, too. We're probably going to be doing our lives on Saturday at around 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And so that seems to be kind of the sweet spot when we could do it.
Western time.
Western Pacific time, right,
Yep,
guys?
Western
So, yeah,
Pacific
so
time.
3:30, 4 o'clock every
Yeah.
Saturday. So,
Yeah.
right, guys, look out for it to the next time, okay?
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you. See you. Bye.